What if I told you that Social Security could run out of money in just 9 years, and that when it does, your benefits could be slashed by 23%? This isn't some far-off disaster movie scenario. This is the harsh reality facing every American worker and retiree right now. In this video, you'll discover exactly what's happening to Social Security, why the trust fund is depleting faster than ever predicted, and most importantly, the specific steps you need to take right now to protect your retirement, even if Social Security gets cut. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down the financial realities that affect your future. If this kind of crucial financial information helps you make better decisions, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos that could save your retirement. Let's start with the numbers that should terrify every American. Just 1 year ago, experts were telling us that Social Security's trust funds would last until 2035. Now, that deadline has been moved up to 2034, and some projections show it could be as early as 2033. We're talking about losing an entire year of security in just 12 months. But here's what most people don't understand, and this is crucial. Social Security won't just disappear overnight when the trust fund runs empty. Instead, the system will only be able to pay out what it collects in payroll taxes, and that amounts to just 77% of promised benefits. So if you're expecting a $2,000 monthly Social Security check, you'd suddenly be looking at $1,540 instead. That's a $460 monthly cut, or $5,520 less per year. Now, how did we get into this mess? The answer lies in a demographic disaster that's been building for decades. When Social Security was created in the 1930s, there were over 40 workers paying into the system for every single retiree collecting benefits. Today, that ratio has collapsed to just 3 workers for every retiree. Think about that. 3 people working to support one person's benefits. This collapse happened because of 3 major trends. First, the massive baby boomer generation is retiring in record numbers. Every single day, about 10,000 baby boomers reach retirement age. Second, people are living much longer than the system's creators ever anticipated. When Social Security was designed, the average person lived to about 65. Today, they're living well into their 80s, collecting benefits for decades longer than planned. And third, birth rates have plummeted, meaning fewer young workers are entering the workforce to replace those who retire. But the demographic shift isn't the only problem. Recent legislative changes have accelerated the crisis. New laws have increased benefits for certain groups, particularly retired public workers like teachers and police officers. While these changes aim to fix perceived unfairness, they've also drained the trust fund faster than anyone expected. The pandemic made everything worse. There's now a massive backlog of medical procedures that were delayed, which is increasing costs for Medicare. At the same time, economic uncertainty has pushed more people to claim their Social Security benefits earlier than they originally planned, putting even more strain on an already stressed system. So why aren't politicians fixing this? Because Social Security is what political insiders call the third rail of American politics. Touch it, and your political career dies. Any proposed solution involves either raising taxes, cutting benefits, or increasing the retirement age. And all of these options are incredibly unpopular with voters. Politicians have floated various ideas, but each comes with serious trade-offs. They could raise the payroll tax rate. Currently, workers and employers each pay 6.2% of wages into Social Security. Even a small increase could generate billions in additional revenue, but that means higher taxes for every working American. Another option is lifting the income cap. Right now, only the first $176,000 or so of annual income is subject to Social Security taxes. Wealthy people earning $500,000 or more pay the same amount into Social Security as someone making $176,000. Lifting this cap would increase revenue significantly. But it's controversial because it would dramatically increase taxes for high earners. They could also gradually raise the retirement age to reflect longer life expectancies. But this is incredibly unpopular, especially among people in physically demanding jobs who may not be able to work longer or those with health issues. Some suggest adjusting how benefits are calculated, particularly for wealthier retirees, to slow the growth of their checks. This would help preserve funds, but could be seen as unfair by those who paid more into the system throughout their careers. The most frustrating part? The longer Congress waits to address these issues, the more drastic the eventual solutions will need to be. If they acted today, they could make gradual changes that give people time to adjust their retirement plans, but every year of delay makes the required fixes more painful. So, what should you do with this information? First, let's address the elephant in the room. Should you claim your Social Security benefits as early as possible, before the rules change or the money runs out? This is a question keeping millions of Americans awake at night. Many people worry that if they wait to claim Social Security, the rules might change, or the money might not be there. This fear is driving some people to start collecting benefits as soon as they turn 62. But here's the critical thing to understand. Taking benefits early locks you into a permanently smaller monthly check for the rest of your life. If your full retirement age benefit would be $2,000 per month, claiming at 62 might only give you $1,400 per month. That's a $600 monthly difference, or $7,200 per year for every year you live. Over a 20-year retirement, that's $144,000 you're giving up. The decision should depend on your specific situation. Consider your health, your other savings, your current job situation, and your family longevity. If you have serious health issues or desperately need the income, claiming early might make sense. But if you're healthy and can afford to wait, the extra money from delaying could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Given all this uncertainty, the smartest strategy is to plan for the possibility that Social Security will cover less than you expect. This means you need to save more on your own. If you have access to a 401k, consider increasing your contributions, even if it's just by 1% per year. If you don't have access to an employer plan, open an IRA and contribute regularly. Consider picking up a side gig for extra income that you can save specifically for retirement. With the gig economy, there are more opportunities than ever to earn extra money, whether it's driving for rideshare services, freelancing your skills online, or starting a small business. Here's something that might surprise you. Studies show that working just 1 or 2 extra years before retiring can boost your lifetime retirement income more than almost any other financial move you can make. Not everyone can do this due to health issues or job demands, but if you can, it's incredibly powerful. Those extra years mean more time to save, more time for investments to grow, fewer years needing retirement income, and potentially higher Social Security benefits if you delay claiming. Don't forget about healthcare costs either. One of the biggest threats to any retirement plan is unexpected medical expenses. Staying healthy now through regular checkups, preventive care, and healthy habits can help you avoid massive medical bills later. Every dollar you save on healthcare is a dollar that can go toward other retirement expenses. You also need to stay informed about changes to both Social Security and Medicare. The situation is evolving constantly, and new projections and legislative proposals emerge regularly. Subscribe to reliable financial news sources, and consider working with a financial advisor who can help you navigate these changes and optimize your retirement strategy. Build a support network with family members. Have honest conversations about expectations and plans. In many families, adult children may need to provide more financial support to aging parents than previous generations. Having these conversations early helps everyone prepare. Most importantly, don't panic, but don't ignore this either. Social Security isn't going to vanish completely, but the era of relying solely on it for a comfortable retirement is ending. The people who will thrive in retirement are those who start planning now for a world where Social Security provides less support than previous generations received. Here's your action plan. First, estimate what your Social Security benefits might look like if they're cut by 23%. You can do this by creating an account on the Social Security Administration's website and looking at your projected benefits, then reducing them by about a quarter. Second, calculate how much additional savings you'd need to make up that difference. Third, create a plan to increase your retirement savings, whether through employer plans, IRAs, or other investments. Fourth, consider whether working longer might make sense for your situation. And finally, make sure you're taking care of your health to avoid expensive medical bills in retirement. The Social Security crisis is real, but it's not hopeless. With smart planning, informed decisions, and a willingness to adapt, you can still build a secure retirement, regardless of what changes come to Social Security. The key is starting now, while you still have time to make adjustments.